If you're new here, we like to point out stupid people doing stupid things to others and laughing at them. And there's no shortage of that in this video. Plus, you get a bonus. Because some Disney adults were triggered by the fact that actually many people enjoyed this ride and didn't want to see it close. That's right, today we're talking about Splash Mountain. If you didn't know, Splash Mountain was a ride built in Disneyland in 1989 and right here at Walt Disney World in 1992. And for years, people rode this ride without problems, without controversy, until Disney came out and was like, yeah, I think this ride is problematic and we're going to get rid of it. We're going to close it down and retheme it and change it. Now, rides come and go. That's a thing, and no one's denying that. And yeah, for some people, it's sad when a ride closes down. But if you're going to close a ride on this virtue signaling, it caused a bit of a stir. So what happened? The people on Twitter were like, yeah, that's right. Let's close it down. Disney, yeah, do the right thing. And if you enjoy this ride, you're the problem. You're a bad person. You're the ist. That's what they were saying. So this ride closed on Sunday and I was there. You might be like, Jay, why were you there? Why were you there for the closing? Well, if you didn't know, I help run a theme park channel for geeks and gamers called Park Hoppin'. We just talk all theme parks all day. We visit the parks. We live stream from the parks. If you didn't know that, I will put this channel in the pinned comment. You gotta like theme parks if that's your thing. Splash Mountain is themed from the movie Song of the South, featuring Uncle Remus, Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. And people came from all over to ride this ride one last time. In fact, when I was in line, there was a person in front of us holding a picture of her dad. She said she had fond memories because this was her dad's favorite ride, and she wanted to ride it one more time with a photo of her dad who passed away. But oh no, that's not acceptable for these weirdos on Twitter that think that you could possibly like a ride. And it got so crazy that Rolling Stone wrote this article. Some Disney adults can't let racist Splash Mountain go. Well, obviously, the idiot who wrote this article had no idea of the history of this ride, nor the backstory. And believe me, I'm going to give it all to you right here in this video. People are trashing that article in every way, shape, or form, but I appreciate this one from Pimp Master Broda. He says one of the most asinine Rolling Stone articles claims if you can't let Splash Mountain go, then you're a racist. It used to be one of the most popular places to propose marriage in the park because of the photo op at the end. Can't imagine why people would be so sad about it. Yes, that's one of the reasons why people enjoyed this ride. Splash Mountain was one of the first rides to implement the photo pass. That's right. When you go down that huge drop, they snapped your picture hoping you would make a weird face. Well, that became so popular that people started dressing up in costumes just to get their picture taken on the photo pass. And many of these photos went viral. Heck, it was so popular that there were many websites dedicated just to put some of these photos on the website, and people would laugh and they'd have a good time. Like, some of them got extremely creative. I mean, this photo here with The Rock went viral. He didn't seem to have a problem with the ride, but this photo went viral, and one of the most famous ones of all was this angry mom picture on Splash Mountain. This is mom's angry Splash Mountain photo goes viral. Well, after these photos went viral, something else happened that was a little naughty. Flash Mountain was born. It used to have a website and all. Not that I knew anything about that. Nothing at all. Basically, what happened is when women went down Splash Mountain, when it was time to take the photo, they would be like, hey, check us out. And all those photos were collected and put on a website. It became very popular, and shame on you women. That's a children's park. You should know better. You shouldn't do that. And Disney got a hold of it. Once the technology got a little more advanced, when they saw those pictures, they were immediately deleted. And websites like this no longer exist. Well, now, sadly, we live in a day and age where we can't have fun anymore because nobody had a problem with that ride until Disney deemed it controversial. Now these weirdos on Twitter were shaming anyone and everyone who came to ride the ride one last time. Look at Greg here. Yes, he has pronouns in his bio, if you were wondering. He actually photoshopped this picture, and he was like, look at these dumb butts tonight. Yeah, look at him. He decided to say that if you like this ride, you probably are a Trump supporter, which means you probably are a bad person. Look at that. You did it, Greg. You really got us. You got us good. Oh, let's look at Mindy, another Disney adult. Nice avatar profile, Mindy. Yes. Does she have pronouns in her bio? She sure does. And says, waiting 3 hours in line to own the libs. Wow, you really got us there, didn't you, Mindy? Nobody was in line to own the libs. Not one person. Nobody cared. In fact, nobody was there, like, losing their mind that the ride was closing. Everybody was there. They were happy. They were celebrating it. They were talking about old memories. They were talking about those websites. Everybody was having a good time in line. In fact, even though that was a long wait for me, I enjoyed standing in that line and listening to the stories of people who have ridden that ride with loved ones that have passed. But oh no, according to Mindy, we were there to own the libs. I mean, look at this. I'm excited for the change, but I also have a tradition of closing out rides on the last day. Mindy says, okay, fair enough. Anthony says, maybe people just like the ride. I like the ride, but this is stupid. Really? You like the ride? But your initial tweet was like, people are trying to own the libs. Give me a break. These people, you could fill in the blanks. Catch me over at Tomorrowland where everything is under 45-minute wait. Basically saying, yes, it's a great day for Space Mountain fans. This person says, it's so dumb. It's literally going to be the exact same ride, but with different characters on the scenes. Mindy says they are really telling on themselves. No, Mindy, you're actually telling on yourself on how exactly incredibly ignorant and stupid you are for making a statement like that. In one of the more disgusting tweets of the night, this person here went to Magic Kingdom just to record the reaction. He then records someone that was crying and having a fit for not being able to ride the ride because he was a little late getting into the line. He then shamed and mocked and laughed at them, later realizing after he posted that video that the people he was making fun of had special needs. He then came back and said, full transparency, I was informed that the folks in the video from last night are a special needs family, and their reactions to the ride closing weren't something to take lightly. Oh, you apologize now because you got called out, but you shouldn't record anyone's reaction and make fun of them anyway just because someone decided to like the ride. You, sir, are an idiot. And people like you should be shamed or mocked. Listen, it's crazy to me because if you did it to him, he probably would play victim and cry. Now, this is what I find interesting. The first tweet after this guy made fun of someone with special needs who wanted to ride Splash Mountain one last time is Valerie Stewart. Valerie Stewart, whose father is the voice of Brer Fox in the movie and in the ride. She has been on a mission to let people know that this movie is not racist, that it celebrates African American storytelling, and she wants her father's not to be diminished to what these people are calling this ride and anyone that worked on it and anyone that enjoys it. She had a video here with WDW Pro where she talked about the legacy of her father, and yet these people here don't want to hear it because these are triggered Disney adults that think it's their way or no way. Now, some of you might be saying, you know, you might not be the right person, Jay, to talk about such things. Well, here's my friend, Lorena Creole. She talks about it here.
This book right here was given to me by my grandmother when I was a kid. This just shows exactly how much I loved it, literally to death. She gave it to me. She would tell these stories about Burr Rabbit. I knew about Burr Rabbit before I even saw Song of the South. And she said that these were stories that they would tell, that her family would tell One, my father got in trouble for telling at school because he wasn't supposed to tell that story at
Right.
all. And I didn't get it. And then they made Splash Mountain. And then I finally got why Brer Rabbit didn't want to be thrown, in the briar patch. But every time I would ride Splash Mountain, I would think about this book. I would think about the fact that I sat and watched Song of the South with my grandparents who were born and raised in the Jim Crow South. They had nothing bad to say about that movie whatsoever. And I'm like, I never saw anything, wrong with it. And I would challenge people on Twitter. I'm just like, well, first of all, they called me a racist because I didn't want to have Splash Mountain changed. Go figure. But I would ask, what exactly is racist about Song of the South?
Well, it's
And if I
here's
got
the
an
thing.
answer, it was, oh, it's because, of how Uncle Remus talks. I said, well, Uncle Remus talks like my grandparents spoke. So you're
Right.
trying to tell me my grandparents are racist for the way that they spoke? I mean, this is exactly the type of dialect that they use. So I
True.
don't understand why some people are being offended just to be offended, or offended on behalf of people who didn't even ask, or the fact that you've got this removal, and that's the part that hurts the most, this removal of authentic Black American culture, not just Black American culture, but also Caribbean American culture as well. These Brer Rabbit stories, these Brer Bear stories, these Brer Fox stories are told, and it's an oral tradition. You're replacing that with what I call an IP that does not have nearly as much as the rich African American experience or Black American experience than you have with the Brer Rabbit stories. So it's really sad. I hope people learn more about Miss Stewart. I would love to interview her because I'm telling you, when I tell you that I wore the pages out of this book, reading all the stories, having sitting there with my grandmother, reading the stories. It is a piece of Americana.
And I think that's all that really needs to be said. Don't ever let these weirdos, these terrible people on Twitter shame you about something that you enjoy, that's something that you loved. Don't ever let them do that. They are miserable, disgusting people, and they will always stay that way. This is Jay. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hey, we got a lot of cool things in the description there. Go check them out, and we will catch you next time.